Welcome to this week's Rogers McHugh YouTube video, and in this week's episode we're looking at how to handle setbacks. Let's go! Welcome to this week's Rogers McHugh YouTube video, and in this week's episode we're in the final episode of the season, which is Fantastic February, and in this week's episode we're looking at how to handle setbacks. So in the first three episodes it's been quite positive. How we're going to have a good year, how to have your best year yet, how to get promoted. And this week we're looking at, well, what happens if there are chinks in the road? I think everybody knows that success isn't a linear line from bottom left to top right. And a few things sort of went on last week in work that made me think, yeah, we need to start looking at how we're going to handle setbacks, because it isn't always going to go perfectly well. So obviously there can be various setbacks depending on whether you're in business, whether you're in recruitment, but I feel like how you handle those and how you push on from setbacks is probably quite similar, irrelevant of the sector. And the first one is that you've got to have options. So if it's that you're chasing a potential new client and that drops out, or you lose a client that you're working with, if you're in business and you lose a client, it can feel like the end of the world. If you've got options, if you're speaking to multiple potential new clients, if you're trying to build a desk in recruitment and you've got one client that you're targeting and that's it, if you don't convert them, you've got nothing, and it's very difficult to come back from that setback. But if you've got a lot of people that you're speaking to, if you're trying to secure quite a few different businesses, if you lose one, it's not the end of the world. If you're in business and you're looking at buying a business to bolt on as an acquisition, if you're only speaking to one vendor, one business owner about the opportunity to sort of buy their business and bolt it onto what you're doing at the minute, then if that goes wrong, it's very difficult to recover. If you've got options, if you're speaking to many people, if you work in property, if you're looking at buying one property and that doesn't go through, or you're outbid on it, it's going to be hard to recover from. But if you've got multiple properties that you're looking at that you could go and buy for your property business, then obviously it's not quite as bad. So the first one is very much have options. Make sure that you've got options, and make sure that if there is a setback along the way, you can bounce back by following the path of one of the other options. The second one, and again this goes for anything, have a positive outlook. Listen, things are going to go wrong in life, in your personal life, in your working life, in your business. You've got to just brush it off. And look, I accept sometimes it's difficult. I had a pretty ropey week last week myself, and it got to Friday, and the back end of the day on Friday we dealt a bit more bad news about quite a big client that we had to remove quite a lot of numbers from site. It's a little bit, oh, here we go again, more bad news on top of bad news. But do you know what? By the end of the day, that was probably 3 o'clock. By the end of the day, I was like, right, it's Friday, doesn't matter. Monday's a new day, we go again, and we've had a really positive day today. I'm filming this on a Monday, by the way. We've had a really positive day today, and this is the following working day after we had a pretty shitty week, to be quite honest. So if you've got a positive outlook, if you're constantly looking at being positive, it'll turn. Just constantly be looking at, yeah, it's gone wrong, or it's not quite gone to plan, but what can I do to affect that outcome? Well, nothing, that's gone. What can I do to make the rest of the week, the rest of the month, the rest of the year positive? What tasks can I be doing that's going to move the needle again? The third thing, you've got to be honest with yourself. I've worked in recruitment now for a long time, and ordinarily, if things go wrong, the consultant, I've heard it all the time, it's the candidate's fault, it's the client's fault, it's because it's snowing, it's because it's a rubbish job in a rubbish location, the client are no good, all the many reasons for why things are going wrong. But what they're not doing is they're not being honest with themselves. So they've not filled a job. Well, their argument is, oh well, it was a rubbish job in a rubbish location for a rubbish client, I was never going to fill it. They don't look at why it's actually gone wrong. They didn't engage the social network well enough. They didn't advertise the job. They didn't send a mail shot to all the candidates on the system. They didn't ask the candidates that they were speaking to for referrals and recommendations. There's many things, there's a plethora of things they could have done to fill that job. They don't want to be honest with themselves because that means that introspectively they've got to look at themselves and realise what they've done wrong, and they'd rather pass the buck on to somebody else. But if you're going to handle setbacks and bounce back from setbacks, you've got to be honest with yourself. If it's gone wrong, why has it gone wrong? Because if you're honest with yourself, then you can learn that that doesn't happen again. We've had clients that we've lost through one thing or another, and it may well be that internally our processes aren't right. Some of the clients didn't like the way that the timesheet portal was set up online, so we've amended that. But we're constantly looking at, well, why are things going wrong? Why have we had a setback? And just to be clear, it's not everything's not going wrong. The office isn't on fire, but you will have setbacks no matter what you do. Be honest with yourself, understand why you've had a setback, and learn from it, and make sure that the next time that scenario plays out, you're not in a position where it's going to affect you again. And then when you've been honest with yourself, number 4, it goes hand in hand, improve your skills. So if you've not converted that new client because your CVs weren't good enough, well, improve your skills at matching candidates to jobs. If you've not converted that client because there was an essential requirement that the candidate must have and you've missed that when you're getting the job spec, improve your skills in terms of taking the job specification off the client. Once you've been honest with yourself and understood where it's gone wrong, you can then improve. You can ask for advice. You can ask for help. You can do that internally within the organisation that you work, from your colleagues, your peers, your management. You can do that externally. You can go and search out the results you want or the learnings that you want to take, whether that be on the internet, on YouTube, in books. Go and improve your skills, because if you don't convert the client, you've not got options, and you've been chasing one client and you don't convert it. Be honest with yourself, understand why you've not converted it, go and improve your skills on that specific task, and the next time you will convert the client. You won't have the setback that you've just had to deal with. And the last one, which is really important, just drawing all over myself, bit of a setback, I'll bounce back from it. Go again. Don't give up. Don't see a setback as the end of the world. It's exactly that. It's a setback. Everybody has them, but you can bounce back. You can go again. Go again. Don't give up. Keep pushing. Learn from your mistakes. Improve your skills, and implement those, and get straight back onto it. So if you have missed out on a client that you're trying to convert and you've not got any other options, go and get those other options. Get straight back on the horse and go again. Because listen, you can dwell on things. You can let it affect your day or your week or your month, but there's only one person that's going to suffer, and that's you. Because your commission is going to be the one that's down. Your earnings are going to be the one that's down. And let's be fair, you've still got to improve your skills. You've got to be honest with yourself and understand where it went wrong. You may as well jump straight back on the horse and go straight away, rather than waiting a week and being all maudlin and, oh well, my life's a mess, it's gone wrong, I didn't convert that client I was trying to convert. Brush it off, be positive, have a positive outlook, and say, do you know what, I'm not going to let that happen again. I'm getting straight back on it now. So there we have it. That's the last episode in the fantastic February series. Hope you've enjoyed the little 4-part mini-series that we've put together, and I hope it helps you have a fantastic 2024. And as a little thank you to me, if you could subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get the videos out to more people, and the YouTube algorithms love subscribers. So subscribe to the channel and it'll go out the videos will go out to more people, and we'll be able to support more people in the development of their business or of their recruitment career. And we look forward to seeing you at the same time next week.